Look, I'm going to tell you about the time a single VHS tape absolutely wrecked two innocent children. And before you judge, just remember this was the 80s. We didn't have content warnings. We didn't have parental controls. We had a cardboard box full of tapes and the naive optimism of youth. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. Let me paint a picture for you. It's 1983, maybe 1984. I'm in 4th grade, which means I'm 7 or 8 years old and dumb as a box of rocks. And guess what? That never changed. But I'm spending the night at my best friend Neil York's house. Now, Neil was one of those kids that made the rest of us look bad. He was straight-laced, brilliant, friendly to literally everyone, inclusive, lovable, handsome, basically everything I wasn't. He was the kind of kid who probably helped old ladies cross the street for fun, and I wanted to be like Neil. Hell, everyone wanted to be like Neil. His house was peak 1980s interior design, which is to say it looked like a woodland cottage had an intimate relationship with the lumberyard. I'm talking shag carpeting so long you could lose a small dog in it. Oak furniture everywhere. Everything was brown, tan, or khaki. Formica countertops, heavy wood furniture, cloth couches, so plush and spongy you'd sink into them like quicksand. It was unbelievably comfortable though. I'm not gonna lie, there's something about that aesthetic that I genuinely miss. It had character. It wasn't standoffish. It invited you just to sink into it. Unlike today's minimalist, I live in an Apple store vibe where everything has to be perfect and glossy. Listen, to get back on track here, there we were, living our best lives, laying on our stomachs on that beautiful shag carpet, elbows propped up on pillows, watching whatever was on that 23-inch TV sitting in a big oak cabinet like a throne. And here's the thing about sleepovers in the 80s. Getting to stay up past 9 o'clock was like being handed the keys to the kingdom. His parents had gone to bed and just let us keep watching TV. We were basically unsupervised kids with access to technology. What could possibly go wrong? Then we were looking for something else to watch and Neil pulls open the TV drawer. Now, for you youngsters out there, VHS tapes were these rectangular plastic boxes that held magnetic tape and they were stored in drawers because that's how the ancient ones organized their media. And there it was, the tape that would change us forever. Alien. The cover was a slim cardboard sleeve, nothing fancy. And as I remember, it was just an egg on the cover that was starting to crack open with this neon glow coming from inside. Looking back, it reminded me of Cocoon or maybe some friendly cartoon alien movie. It looked pretty harmless. Looked like something cute might pop out. Maybe E.T.'s cousin or something. Maybe an early version of Alf. We were genuinely excited. We popped that bad boy in, settled back down on the carpet, and thought we were about to have a good time. Right away, we knew it wasn't a cartoon, but hey, it was sci-fi, and that was still pretty cool for a couple of kids, so we kept watching. Fast forward to the end of the movie. It's now past 10 o'clock, pushing 11, and everyone in the house is asleep. All the lights are out, it's total darkness except for the glow of the TV, and the movie ends. Now, if you've seen Alien, you know that there's only one alien in the whole film. One. But that one alien terrorized an entire crew of adults from the shadows. It's the jump scare to end all jump scares. The chest burster scene alone probably traumatized an entire generation. This thing makes you second guess every shadow, every nook, every cranny, every dark corner suddenly becomes a potential death trap. And there we were, two 7-year-olds lying on shag carpeting in a dark basement, absolutely scared out of our minds. I'm talking paralyzed, frozen. We were so terrified that neither of us could move. Neither of us got up to stop the videotape when the credits rolled. I remember watching it go all the way through the credits, then to that blue static screen where the tape finally ran out and shut off. We were just laying there staring at each other with neither of us brave enough to get up and turn off the TV. And walking upstairs to the bedroom, forget about it. That was going to be a death sentence. Those stairs might have been Everest, except instead of low oxygen, the danger was a 7-foot xenomorph with acid blood waiting to give us the world's worst tug. I don't even know if we talked after that. We might have just laid there in silent terror contemplating our poor life choices. What I do remember is his mother waking us up the next morning. For breakfast, we were still on the floor. We hadn't moved an inch. We were essentially paralyzed for a night. Now, to this day, Alien is still one of the scariest movies ever made, and I've seen it multiple times since then and it holds up. The practical effects, the sound design, the claustrophobia, the way Ridley Scott barely shows you the creature, but makes you feel like its presence is everywhere. Listen, it's a masterclass in horror, but from the perspective of a 7 or 8-year-old kid who snuck a VHS tape into the VCR with his best friend, that experience is still seared into my brain like a cattle brand. The thing is, we didn't know what we were getting into. The cover looked innocent enough. There was no internet to look up reviews, no IMDb parent's guide to warn us about the chest-bursting parasites and acid blood. And haunting decapitations, we were operating on pure ignorance, and that is not necessarily a very good strategy. We paid the price. So here's my question for you. Were you scared? Like really, truly terrified at something? Not just a little spooked or uncomfortable. I mean, the kind of fear that roots you to the spot and makes you question every decision you made up to that moment. Do you remember the details? What was it? A movie? A situation? The time you thought you saw something move in the dark, or convince yourself that you were being haunted by a demon? And if you've seen Alien, whether as a kid or an adult, back me up here. This movie is legitimately terrifying, right? Or am I just traumatized because I saw it as a kid? Honestly, it's probably a little of both, but let me know in the comments. Share your scariest moments. Tell me about the time you watched something you shouldn't have. And if you're a parent, maybe this is a good time to hide your horror movies or turn on the parental controls or whatever we do these days. Or don't. Maybe it builds character and toughness in your kids too. That's another possibility. Although I would say it screwed me up for life. Peter Von Panda, out.